Before we can address the theory of planned behavior, we must first define what both theory and persuasion are. So what is a theory? Well, in technical terms, a theory can be defined as a supposition or system of ideas intended to explain something. As human beings, we are constantly creating theories in our lives to better understand the world around us. For instance, I have a theory I derived about driving on traffic and how it's a lot like playing the stock market. Those who pick one lane and stick with it till the end are metaphorically playing the long-term game. They are actively seeking less risk and oftentimes receive a greater ROI by arriving at their destination a little sooner, or at least expected on time. Compare this to those who are constantly lane switching. These types of people I like to refer to are day traders. These types of people are constantly taking risks for very little return on investment. They have a higher chance of crashing and thus possibly not even arriving at their end destination at all. Now we can discuss what persuasion is. Persuasion is human communication that is designed to influence others by modifying their beliefs, values, or attitudes. I'm sure we can all think of a master persuader who is seemingly able to convince those around them to do what he or she so desires. The theory of planned behavior explains this phenomenon and in fact serves as a template if one wishes to persuade people to change their behavior. However, first, before discussing this theory, we must address its predecessor, the theory of reasoned action. This theory was created by Isaac Asimov and Martin Fishbein in the 1960s specifically to be able to predict voter behavior. The two came up with the idea of behavioral intention, a concept which can be understood as one always plans to act a certain way. The two factors that influence behavioral intention are attitudes and normative beliefs. Attitudes are composed of our evaluation of the object and our belief strength. An applied example of this would be one's attitude towards the coronavirus. Some people are willing to spend their entire day waiting in line to receive the vaccine because they truly believe it is the sole answer to ending the current epidemic. While on the other hand, certain anti-vaxxers absolutely refuse to be inoculated because they strongly believe the vaccine is only a supposed means for the government to inject chips into the everyday person. Different people evaluate the COVID-19 vaccine differently. Simple as that. Normative beliefs are individuals' beliefs about the extent to which other people who are important to them think they should or should not perform particular behaviors. For example, drawing from my own personal life, I was very skeptical of the COVID-19 vaccine at first, but after my family strongly recommended I get vaccinated because I am an asthmatic, I gave in, and in this past Monday I received my first of 2 shots at my local Rite Aid. As you can tell, I value what my family thinks greatly. Circa the early 80s, Isaac Asimov involved the theory of reasoned action to create the theory of planned behavior by adding a final predictor, perceived behavioral control. Perceived behavioral control is composed up of 2 elements, self-efficacy and controllability. Self-efficacy theorizes that before a person can truly do something, they must believe that they will be able to do said behavior. I had to believe that I would be able to endure the pain of willingly getting pricked with a needle before I was even able to make my appointment at my local Rite Aid to get vaccinated. Lastly, controllability refers to the phenomenon that sometimes things are simply out of our control. I ended up having to reschedule my mom's first initial corona vaccine shot because she had a flat tire the morning of her appointment. As much as she wanted to go to Rite Aid, she simply couldn't at that moment in time. So if one wishes to persuade people to change their behavior, the theory of planned behavior serves as a perfect template to do so.